All right, so I got this property in Colorado I'm working with. Um, man, the seller was not truthful when he told us what was going on. And I had a buyer walk through, and there's all sorts of craziness happening in that property. And this is about to be the dumbest fucking price drop I've ever done. So we have it at 430, and I got to bring that down to about 230. So a $200,000 price drop. Let's see what happens.
Hello.
Hey Joe, this is Kyle.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Got no complaints. Blessed to be busy. So we had a walkthrough. We had a guy go in there yesterday, take a look at everything for us. He did give us some feedback. Based on that, we're gonna have to revisit price and timeline if we're to move forward. Are you
Oh,
open to having that conversation with me?
uh, yeah, I suppose so.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna just kind of fill you in on some of the things we weren't aware of, that we were made aware of. So we found out there is a hole in the bathroom ceiling. We didn't know about that one. That one's in the downstairs unit.
Yeah,
There's a leak in the shower in the upstairs unit. It appears to be there's a little bit of mold in the upstairs unit as well. There's It says a piece of plastic in the downstairs unit that's blocking the hole in the downstairs bathroom. I mean, the plastic's not an issue, but the hole is. They're outside. I mean, we kind of knew this one. You knew that as well. Paint, windows, doors, the deck in the back is concaved a little bit, so we'll have to do some work on that. But, we kind of knew that one. That's not a big deal. Issue that we did come across, there's water spots on the ceiling. The stairs are going to need to be redone. It looks like kitchen, we knew that one already. That's not an issue. We're perfectly fine with that. Um, Basically, when we put all these little things that we did not account for together, it does start to turn into something substantial. Um, so our price of the 430 that we have on that is unfortunately no longer good. We're not going to be able to close at that price. Uh, we have options what we can do here. Um, Essentially we could find a creative way to do this. We can lower our purchase price and move forward. We could extend the timeline, but I don't think much is going to change because there's such a big price difference in where we're at here. Where How would you like this conversation to go? Do you want to talk about the cash offer that it will be? Do you want to find some sort of creative way to do this? What are you thinking?
well, I don't know. What do you guys think?
So like as far as a cash offer, like doing everything that we said we're gonna do and closing on time when we said we're gonna close, we would really need to be like we honestly, man, we need to be around like the 230 range.
Yeah, there ain't no way I could ever do that.
I gotcha.
It's just not possible. I
And
mean, I'd be stuck with $140,000, $150,000. It's not possible.
gotcha. So if you were to, I mean, obviously it's not possible, but if you were to do the 230, you would, would you be making money on this or like is there still a mortgage in place? Kind of fill me in.
Yeah, no, that's what I said when I originally had the conversation to start all this. I owe like 370 still on the house.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if you pay,
Yeah.
okay, so we gave you 230, you would be out of pocket by 100,000.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's that. Then right off the bat, our cash offer isn't going to work.
no.
Now there is a creative solution. If you're willing to get creative and you actually want to sell this, there is maybe something we can do here. But it's really up to you if you want to take that creative step.
What do you mean by creative?
Okay, perfect. Well, let me fill you in on kind of what we can do here on that regard. So, as we just discussed, cash offer, it doesn't work for you. And if you have a mortgage on the property, that makes a lot of sense. What we do in situations like these, especially if our price is lower than the mortgage, what we can do is not assume, but we can take over the mortgage. So you would basically we would take over the mortgage. We would make all monthly payments. Nothing comes out of your pocket in that regard. We still pay all closing costs, and we can help you, essentially just dump the property. So we'll take over it and that saves us because we don't have to come in with a large down payment and we can just put all the money we would be bringing in to repairs. Because we're estimating repairs are going to be really high on this one. So instead of us paying your mortgage off, we're going to keep the mortgage in place and then use the money we would be putting towards the mortgage to pay for repairs. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Hmm, I don't know. I might be. I might be.
Okay, well, here, yeah, so I
Yeah.
get it. You're just hearing about it. I'm sure you're wrapping your head around it. Do you have any questions? Because I have so many answers about this.
Um, Answers for like what?
Really anything. I mean, like, do you have any questions on the situation itself? So, like,
Like,
ideally,
like you was. What? How does that work? I guess I don't know how this works.
perfect. So, essentially, what would happen is you have a mortgage on the property in your name.
Yeah.
It's going to stay in your name, and we're going to pay that mortgage every single month. So it comes off your debt to income ratio. So if you want to go buy a new house, you're still able to do that. It's just the property itself is going to be deeded to us. So we're still going to purchase property. It's still going to go through a title company and it's still going to have all the steps that go through a transaction. So title search, all the good stuff, everything that is official. So the only real difference that comes into play is instead of me paying off your mortgage, which we can't do because we're at 230,000 compared to, I believe
Mhm.
you said 360, something in that regard.
Three. I don't know whatever.
We'll just call it 360. It's semantics at this point. I'll call it 360, 370, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, this is just a conversation. Essentially, we would take over that note. So that loan that you have, we would take over payments. So every payment you make, we make that instead. You don't ever have to worry about another payment. We're going to make it for you. Some bonuses that happen when we do that is because it stays in your name, you will receive all the credit benefits. So we will end up raising your credit by making monthly on-time payments. You don't have to worry about tenants, toilets, anything, any kind of rehab that we're doing. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, you basically get to wash your hands of the property and be done with it. While again making your credit go up because of monthly on-time payments. Now, we can also help you out because we can remove your debt to income ratio because you have a loan in your name. Most
Yeah.
banks will say that, like, oh, you have this loan, I can't get you another one. We can completely remove that because we will own this property and we'll be servicing the property. It's not going to come across your debt to income ratio because we can show proof that we have the money, we're paying it on time. And then once we have that for whatever loan officer you speak to, you won't have any issues getting a new loan. And then again, also the credit that we're going to help you build in the process. I don't know what your credit score is, but if it's awesome, it'll only make it better.
How does that work with the VA?
Yeah, perfect. I'm glad you asked that. So for a VA loan, it's not gonna be any different. What we are gonna do is called a wrap. Essentially, we are going to purchase the property, as I stated before, and then we will pay the exact amount every single month to the bank. So we will pay that bank for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing comes out of your pocket. We are still paying for everything as far as closing costs, nothing in that regard. It would just be us taking over the loan.
So how does that work for like the insurance, the house insurance, shit like
Perfect.
that.
That is an excellent question as well. So we are going to keep the insurance in place that you have. We will be taking over payments on that as well, and we will be adding ourselves as a company to that insurance. So basically, insurance stays in place, we add ourselves to it, make all payments for it. The loan stays in place, we take over and make all payments for it.
Yeah, I was wondering how that works because right now I have travelers.
Gotcha. Can I answer some questions that you should probably be asking?
Yeah.
Perfect. So there is a thing with banks called a due on sale clause. So when that happens, essentially it's saying, oh, well, you sold this property, we're gonna call the loan due and you need to pay that loan. So what happens with that is one, we have an insurance for it because there are insurance company that insures transactions just like this. In case you're wondering, if you want to Google it, it's called a sub two transaction. Essentially, once we have our name on the insurance, that completely eliminates it for the bank because the bank doesn't actually care. The bank only wants to see monthly payments. So as long as payments are coming in, they really, pardon the language, they don't give a fuck. So it's just as long as someone's paying that and as long as the insurance is in place, they do not care. Now, let's say it does happen for some crazy miracle, they decide, yeah, let's go ahead and call this due. That's where our insurance comes into play. Our insurance will cover the entirety of the cost. This is nothing that has to do with you. This is me just telling you kind of what happens on the back end on us if it happens. Like you don't have any play in this. It's just our insurance claim kicks in. They completely fund the transaction. Unfortunately, we do pay a premium if it does happen, but that's a cost of doing business for us, and we're willing to do that. But it's still different than us paying, because at the end of the day, like if we were to come in cash, like we gotta be at 230, and everything is still significantly cheaper that way than it is paying that 360. So I would much rather my insurance pay it and me pay a small premium and have just a better rate on it than paying everything off. You see what I'm saying? Because if I got to get a loan to pay off that 360, that math does not math for me.
Huh. Yeah, I'm trying to read up on this too while you're saying something about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude. Hey, you absolutely should.
Actually even heard this.
Yeah, so it is,
Uh,
like I said, it's creative. It's not the ordinary thing. Now, I will say that it happens a lot more often than people even know about. Uh, I would say a total of maybe about 10 to 15% of the transactions in the United States are sub two transactions. It's just most people aren't aware of them. It's really more
oh,
on the investor side. Occasionally, agents will do it. Have you ever heard of seller financing?
uh, where the seller takes the
Basically,
money
so
and
like,
does the
yeah, you would become the bank in that regard. So it's like you have the property free and clear. You want to sell to someone, they'll make monthly payments to you as if you're the bank. That actually
yeah.
happens quite often as well. There's a whole bunch of creative things that you can do. It's like one of those things where if you can write it down in a contract, then it becomes real. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how does that work on taxes?
Yes, that is also an excellent question. So we are, again, I want to reiterate, we will be purchasing the property. We will just be purchasing the property subject to the mortgage. That's where sub two comes in. So taxes, insurance, your principal balance, interest, everything that comes into a mortgage statement, specifically
Hmm.
taxes and insurance, that's on us. So everything's taken off your plate.
No, I was saying like when I do my taxes,
Yeah, again, it's
how do I figure?
you won't have any taxes on the property. So when you do your taxes, you don't actually own the property anymore because the deed will transfer to us. So we'll get it, the deed will transfer from the title company. That's why you're still gonna sign off that you're selling the company, just like you would in a normal transaction. And we would end up signing off that we're buying it, just like in a normal transaction. So when as far as the like, let's say the county is concerned of who owns the property, When you look up
Mhm.
on public record, you're going to see our name on it.
Oh, yeah, because I was just wondering.
Yeah,
So,
no, that was an excellent question.
I'm just kind of wondering how all that works and how it works with Planet Home Lending and stuff like that. Like, that's who I got those. That's who bought my loan anyway.
Yeah, gotcha. So that means that your loan went on you, if you went to Bank of America and got a loan, essentially they sell everyone's loan off on a secondary market. That's how they can give new
Yeah.
loans. Yeah, exactly. So basically nothing changes on their side either. So if you were to buy
Okay.
your loan or get your loan from Bank of America still services the loan for the entire life of the loan. They are just getting their money back by whoever you said purchased it, but nothing actually
Okay.
changes. So like we still make the payments, they still own the note, they're still getting payments from us every single month. Nothing changes in that regard.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a unique transaction. 100% give you that, but it is actually quite common. No, it's like, hey man, I completely understand because it's like most people, you talk to 100 people, maybe 10% knows about it. But hey, if you're Googling it, like I encourage you to Google it. That way you can kind of get a better understanding and actually see that it's real. I'm not making anything up on you.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now to see how all that,
Yeah, absolutely.
how all sub two, So that's why I was just trying to.
Here, do you want to do this? Because I want you to be prepared. I know I just kind of sideswiped you with this. Do you want to take a day to
Yeah.
kind of review some stuff? That way you're not dude, there's no pressure here. So like if you want to take some time to review everything, we can have a substantial conversation on it at a later date. We can touch base tomorrow, see what you're thinking, and just kind of feel things out.
Yeah, because I'll be moving more of my shit tomorrow out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, man, I still got a bunch of crap still there. Yeah, can we revisit this like Monday or something?
Not an issue. We can touch base on Monday. I'll give you a call then.
Okay, that'd be perfect. Just give me a chance to
Of
wrap
course.
my head around all because
Yeah,
I'm just because my interest rate on the house is like a 2.25. So
right. I mean, to be honest, that definitely helps us on that regard. Like really, this is the only way we could carry forward, just because again, we're at that 230 and that just doesn't work, especially if you have a mortgage. Like there's no way. And I completely understand.
yeah, I was like, there ain't no way.
Yeah, yeah, I don't blame you. I
Start
would say
paying.
no to that too.
Yeah, yeah, that leaves me like $150 on the thousand on the hood. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Yeah, I'm just reading through its benefit, the risks and considerations because my name stays, so everything kind of stays in my name. So if you guys don't make the payments, then it's on me, not you guys.
Correct. And here, let me fill you in on that because that's an excellent statement there. Let me kind of fill you in on that. So let's say for some crazy thing, I get abducted by aliens and I disappear off the face of the planet. No one's making payments anymore. Like, oh no, what happens? So essentially, the title would go back into your name. So you would be owner of the property, and every single renovation I did goes right back to you and you didn't pay for a single thing. So in a year and a half, 2 years, if I get abducted by aliens and you take the property back, you get it in the condition that I put it in. So when I do all this work that I'm about to do to it, because again, like I'm at 230 cash because there's a lot of work I have to do. When I go and put all that money into it and I put tenants into there to rent that out, and I disappear, all of a sudden it comes right back to you, fully renovated with tenants in it. So I can promise you this. I am not in the business of losing money. So the chances, unless I legit get abducted by aliens, is just inconsequential of that happening. There's no way I'm dropping several $100,000 and disappearing.
Yeah, let me not the route I would have rather taken.
Yeah, I mean, completely understand. At the end of the day, a cash offer, cash is king. Everyone loves cash, so like everyone prefers that. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah. So yeah, can we revisit this on Monday and
Absolutely.
give me a
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Take your time,
so,
please. Like I implore you, please get educated, see what you think about it. I'd love to answer any questions you have. We can touch base on Monday.
okay.
All right. I appreciate you taking the call, man. Have a good one. I'll talk to you then.
Okay, man. I'll probably talk to you Monday.
All right, bye.